Hey everybody, welcome in to the Daily Score. I'm Mark Grote. The show is originating from Hallis Hall, site of the Bears mandatory minicamp going down Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I will be out here each and every day and reporting on this podcast and on the score. And I can tell you that attendance was perfect. Everybody was here. Guys like Montez Sweat and Keenan Allen and Jalen Johnson, who had missed some days of the OTAs. Everybody's here. It's all good. We'll hear from Montez Sweat in just a second, as a matter of fact. And he'll actually go into why he was not at the OTAs and talk about what's up with him. As far as the day for Caleb Williams, on this very first day of the mandatory minicamp with everybody here, he had an up and down day is the best way to describe it. He did have an interception and 7-on-7s by Kevin Byard, which we'll hear about here in just a second. Had some issues with the cadence at times. So, yeah, back to some growing pains here. And, this is the kind of stuff that will continue to go on. The connection with DJ Moore continues to be pretty tight. With Keenan Allen, he admitted this being his first practice, it's going to take some time to get the chemistry down with him. So it is and I think Keenan Allen actually said it's a work in progress. And look, none of us wants to hear that because we all want it right away, but things are going to take some time. And I told you there was the interception out there today for Caleb Williams, and Matt Eberflus broke it down pretty well, I thought.
And those are the experiences that he has to go through. He has to go through his progressions, which he did. He was right on his progressions. And then he took a hitch, and the ball should have came out, and he took 2 hitches, and it was late over the middle. That's always dangerous when you do that, but that's a learning experience in the process that a young quarterback has to go through. Whenever his feet timed up, when can he make those throws? When can he make those throws? That's just experimentation. So we're just doing a really good job of getting experience, get him the exposure, let him experiment with his arm talent and the receivers that he has. And then eventually what player development happens and an evolution of a quarterback happens. And that's the process that we have to go through, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, one thing that I believe is that there are things that Caleb Williams got away with at USC that he's not going to get away with in the NFL. He's not going to get away with it in a damn off-season program, mandatory minicamp. So he's going to learn these things. And look, it's not like all of his superpowers will be taken away from him. It's just that he is going to have to adjust to the speed of the game. And, talk about the double hitches. Maybe he would have gotten away with that in games with USC. But right here, right now, he's got to, work on, some of the basics before he can start to kind of improvise and go off script. Keenan Allen was great today with us. Again, this is really only our second time, I think, getting to talk to the veteran. And I think the biggest thing, that I get asked about Keenan Allen is, well, number one, how is he going to fit into this offense? He was playing in the slot for the most part today. He's capable of playing any of the positions at wide receiver, but that's where he's had a ton of his success, as he's been described as a crafty wide receiver, a good, really good route running, wide receiver. We got to see some of that in action today. Terrific on third down. But, hey, man, as of right now, he's only a Bear for a year. This is already a contract year for him. So he was asked a 2-part question. How much longer do you want to play in the NFL? And to that end, would you like to have an extension with the Chicago Bears?
It's kind of tough to answer right now, but I'm going to play as long as I can. As far as extension, we would like to play, speak for itself. And, if they offer me something that I like, then, we'll go from there.
Are you okay with the idea if this is a contract year, going out and proving it and looking for that next deal?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal right now, just to go out and do what I always do and, just try to remain who I am. And the market just got reset, so.
On that note, what are your thoughts on, especially for veteran players, like the market for wide receivers keeps evolving, especially the last couple of years?
That's huge. It's big for the game. Christian McCaffrey just went for 19. That's huge for a running back. And, as long as those numbers continue to go up, the players are going to obviously continue to get better. They're younger, bigger, stronger, faster. And, they continue to raise the bar. So as long as they're taking care of their job, and vets like me, we just continue to do what we do, take the back seat, and, get paid as well.
just sit back and wait, let the market set itself. Of course, he was referencing earlier Justin Jefferson, which we know he's not going to get that kind of money, being well aware of Christian McCaffrey. It's very interesting to see. I mean, my gut is that, they are going to be more interested in making sure they secure DJ Moore for the future, just because of the age difference between Moore and Keenan Allen. And obviously you have the rookie and Rome Odunze. Look, if Rome Odunze struggles, or, if he's not what we all think he is, then you have to think more seriously about Keenan Allen. But my guess is that he's going to have to play this season out, and there's not going to be some early preseason or middle of the season contract extension for Keenan Allen. So, and who knows? I mean, that obviously, if he has a great season, the Bears are gambling. Allen made it clear he likes to be here. He likes his new team. He says he likes Chicago and the area. He loves the golf here, which is important because, this is the guy who's been playing in Southern California, and he seems to dig it here. So we'll see. But this is not something that's going to happen fast with Keenan Allen. One more from Keenan Allen. Like I said, this first time going up against the Bears defense. And he seems to be pretty impressed for the most part with the Bears defense.
He looked like a top 5 defense. He sound like a top 5 defense too. Defenses are annoying, especially at practice. You just hear them every time they make a play. It's hoorah, celebration. There's guys running up and down the sideline. So, it's annoying. The offense, we get a first down. One guy just trots around, comes back to the huddle. Everybody's like, okay, what's the next play? You don't really see too much. Yeah! You don't get all that just because, somebody did a rip through and, got back to the quarterback. So, it is what it is. But, their energy, the way they communicate, the way they get lined up, definitely high class.
Yeah, the nature of defense allows them to act like that. It's like there's just more decorum on the offense. This is the way it always is. But in this case, as he said, they look like a top 5 defense. We'll see about that. I still stand by my good but not great until I see more. One of the great players, though, on this Bears defense is Montez Sweat. I put together a little chunk from Montez Sweat, and we started asking him, why did you skip the OTAs?
Just a regiment that I built upon my years being in the league. I was in great contact with Coach Flus, Coach Washington, and my position coach, Coach Trav, and also with the guys in the building, just staying on tune with the installs and all that type of stuff. So it's almost like I didn't miss a beat.
The Bears team that you got traded to last year was 2-6. And since then, you won some games. You got Hard Knocks coming in. You have the number 1 pick in the draft. You have Keenan Allen. You have Rome Odunze. And how has just the mood around this place changed?
It's definitely exciting, but we really can't get caught up on what's on paper. Football is played on the field, and you got to go out there and execute the X's and O's. So we can't get caught up in any of that stuff that's going on outside of here, but just stick to what we know, and that's playing football.
How much do you appreciate the attitude of the defense and how much they talk and how vocal the spirit? I think the coordinator called it salty last week. How much do you appreciate being part of that? Nature.
It's exciting. I think to play football, man, you gotta have maybe a screw or two loose. So you out there having fun and talking smack, man, it just makes it just so much more fun for everybody around me.
Do you think there's a chance with Coach Washington here that maybe they're a little more creative with you this year, and maybe on third down, things of that nature?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, we'll see what happens. Obviously, he's not going to answer that question. I like the question, though. And, hey, again, it's the problem the Bears have right now. They don't have a sturdy end opposite of Montez Sweat unless DeMarcus Walker steps up. And so they're going to have to do things differently with Montez Sweat and get more creative with him. Again, they're going to be depending on, Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens and Andrew Billings and these guys to create a little bit more pressure on the inside. But yeah, man, teams they're going to be on to Montez Sweat. He can't be the only one. Speaking of DeMarcus Walker, he got in a little bit of a fight with some of the offensive linemen today. So that didn't get totally out of hand or anything crazy like that. But there was. He is a very spirited player out there for sure. I hope it translates this year for DeMarcus Walker and that he has a big season. You know, I've been talking about that a ton. But so that's Sweaty. Last cut. There is one player on the Bears so far who has kind of taken exception to the idea that the defense is just kicking the offense's ass so far this year, and that's Cole Kmet. Here he is.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys have only been in a few practices, but I don't know if I necessarily feel like that. We've had a couple here and there, and, you know, they're a veteran group, and, you know, they have guys that have been in this system for a while now, and you can kind of see the impact Kevin Byard's had since he's been here. He's very vocal, a really good leader over there for the defense. In terms of scheme, I mean, it's a very similar type of offense we're running that we have been running, and most of the league is now running this type of offense. Obviously, some terminology is different, but for guys who have played now, whether it's Keenan, myself, DJ, Gerald, these are all concepts we're very familiar with. Obviously, for Caleb, this is brand new, and, you know, obviously he's the guy that we got to bring along and you know, keep helping him along the way.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. I like the competitive spirit that's going on between the Bears offense and the defense. A couple other things before we get out of here. Nate Davis, not always practicing today. He was present. A lot of Matt Pryor, again, playing right guard. Ryan Bates was the center on this day. So it's been every other practice. Ryan Bates, Coleman Shelton. Now we're back to Ryan Bates today. Still think it's going to be Ryan Bates, the center. And then looking forward to today, we will have the always entertaining Jalen Johnson up at the podium. So that's it. Day one of Bears mandatory minicamp is in the books, and I will be back with you guys tomorrow to talk about what day two has in store for us. So for Ray Diaz, I am Mark Grote. This is the Daily Score. I'll talk to you later.